Let's look forward to the marketing trends of 2022. Marketing is one of the most important things a business can do to promote and sell either products or services. This is because it helps people gain interest in your product or service. Though a lengthy process, the results are worth it as it helps establish your brand and brand loyalty to consumers. This can be achieved by conducting market research, promoting their brand, including service or products, and selling and distribution. And this is what leads to brand loyalty, which not only helps you retain the customers, but also grow new ones as well. This is why it is very crucial for businesses to implement that within their company as part of its growth strategy. However, there is no go-to strategy. Companies instead need to establish their own strategy based on their business. It's why conducting market research is so important. When people think of marketing, it's not just about selling or advertising. A lot goes into it. It's also about promotions, creating materials such as landscape pages, social media content, improving the overall customer experience, and so much more. As long as your strategy helps you achieve your goals, there's no real right or wrong answer. However, with the ongoing pandemic, things have been shaken up quite a lot. So how has marketing had to adapt over the years? Over the last few years, marketing has been challenged in many different ways. This is due to the ongoing pandemic. This has meant that a lot of companies have been challenged with adapting to new ways of working. This includes working from home, online meetings or conferences, and much more reliance on digital technologies. This affected marketing in a massive way, as attending events in person was not allowed. Therefore, networking was tested. However, companies have been able to market themselves by coming up with their own marketing strategies tailored to their business in order to help them achieve their goals, whilst also making the big leap to a more digital side. So, what has been used? As mentioned previously, there has been a lot more reliance on digital technologies to help companies continue to market themselves. But businesses have been using specific platforms to keep their company on track to meeting their goals. For video conferences, business meetings, companies have opted to use services like Zoom to hold meetings, whilst employees worked from home. This allows them to continue to function like they would do at work, the only difference being is their work environment. For content on social media, a lot of businesses have geared towards YouTube and TikTok as they have gained a lot more popularity since the pandemic. And lastly, for live events, most companies have opted to use Facebook, which even allows users to comment during the events and engage with other people who might share similar interests. So, why and how has it affected the market? With the pandemic making such a huge impact on a global scale, marketing has had a big shift since companies have had to adapt to the changing environment. It's why there's such a big emphasis on the use of digital technologies and platforms. But it's not just the pandemic that has had an impact. Even little changes on how businesses operate can create an impact. Businesses were already using some aspects of both digital technology and platforms since they want to appeal to a new generation for potential customers. For example, social media content posts have been more adopted since there's been an increase in the use of it. The pandemic only sped this process up whilst throwing a curveball into the mix. This shows you why a business must conduct their own market research as things change over the course of time. As a result, a lot of people have turned into current marketing trends as companies can insert them into their own marketing strategy, provided that it's suitable. However, there have been some notable marketing trends over the last few years that practically any company could work with in their own marketing strategy, regardless of what their business is about. Now, 2020 was bad. Things were tough. We had a global pandemic that forced us all to adapt to change. With the world on lockdown, we were limited to what we could interact with and communicate with. This led to the spark of TikTok. Short and entertaining content made by people of all ages, all around the world. All you needed was a phone with a camera and you could participate in this trend. This took off massively and carved a way for shorter content. And with 2020 becoming more personal, so did the content marketing. With the introduction of shoppable posts, and with 90% of Instagram followers following a shopping brand, it was almost inevitable that the shopping posts would take off. Especially when 60% of Instagram users say that they use the app to discover new products on the platform. So, content that is easily absorbed through an image on Instagram, or a video on YouTube that is easily retained, started shifting marketing into more video-based content. According to HubSpot, 72% of customers would rather learn about a product or service through video content instead of reading. And with more than 1 billion hours worth of content being watched on YouTube every single day, there are plenty of people available to see your content. Now, we can't leave out AI and augmented reality. We really are starting to see the future of technology now. With the world behind locked doors staying safe from a global pandemic, it was impossible to attend events and view properties. This is where augmented reality came into play. You are virtually able to travel to a location and virtually attend an event, even view properties. This gave people more freedom when faced with the lockdown. and that allowed us to continue business and connect with the people that were feeling cut off. It was a benefit for both consumer and business. In 2021, there have been some similar trends passing through from 2020 to 2021, which have led to a slight change in how brands market themselves, especially to this current generation. With 2021 currently taking place, many challenges have been faced by brands who are actively trying to connect with their audience, as well as influence consumers who have adopted to new shopping habits, whilst upping their own expectations when it comes to how brands ultimately engage with them. However, there is a particular focus on how to win over the current generation. There has been an increasing regard for both eco-consciousness and social equality, which has put extra pressure on companies to try and showcase their contribution to combating widespread social issues. The current generation currently favour brands that aren't afraid to show this based on how quickly loyalty can be lost and won. It brings major risks for those who decide to either back up or falsely commit to those values. A result from this can lead to cancel culture and boycotting, which is very much a real thing. Brands aren't just marketing to a generation consisting of colourful, technical trendsetters anymore, but instead they are dealing with well-informed, vocal users who aim to change the world. This is why brands need to learn when to take a stance and when to take the back seat, otherwise they run the risk of being cancelled. While showrooms and stores are looking at newer ways to deal with the lack of a physical presence, a lot more businesses are still having to adopt this idea from working from home and using software as a service tool to help run and maintain an operable organisation, allowing employees to work together utilising the online world. This includes the use of Zoom, an online video chat platform which allows people to come together and communicate amongst themselves. But businesses have used that to their advantage as part of conferences, meetings and interviews. The use of Zoom will continue throughout the rest of 2021, becoming one of the key means of communication for businesses. In 2021, for brands to survive and grow, it all comes down to customer experience, as it not only needs to meet expectations, but it also has to exceed them as well. If your business is already finding success online by delivering a high quality digital experience, your business will need to be going faster and pushing the boundaries even further, since many companies will continue to raise the bar when it comes to user experience. Businesses that have gone ahead and ignored utilising online or even evolving their online presence for customers will end up doing more harm than good for their company, since it's more or less an expectation for the consumer. During the coronavirus concerns, there was a rise in food content online. Some of these went viral, including Dalgona coffee, banana bread, etc. This meant a lot of people were eager to get into the kitchen and start bashing out new recipes to curb their boredom during isolation periods. For companies like Idahoan Foods, which is a US instant mashed potato brand, this presented them with an opportunity to appeal to the current generation. In order for the brand to push themselves into the food content craze going on at the time, they knew they had to be innovative to stand out whilst also incorporating current TikTok conventions at the time, allowing them to appear as organic as possible. With the goal to build awareness of the brand using the platform, their solution was to create a two-part plan using 14 influencers, which they were able to find by using their industry-leading in-house TikTok analytics tool called ByteSites. As part of the first phase, they combined two of the most effective ingredients on TikTok to go viral: sounds and dance. The in-house team got to work and created custom sounds that would be used for Idahoan's food brand image. This was then paired with a choreographed hashtag dance challenge, which gave the created hashtag mashout challenge. This challenge consisted of very simple dance moves, among many of the famous 1960s mashed potato dance, which is easy and accessible to everyone. Based on their calculations, they believed that this would guarantee them at least 2 million views based on the first phase. However, they gained over 4 times the amount, accumulating 7.6 million views. Their custom sound alone inspired 178 pieces of user-generated content, and that reached an incredible 50,000 video plays. Now the goal for the second phase was to showcase the product in a fun and energetic way. This would then allow users to help build the brand in a positive light. They trusted users who spend 24/7 creating content on TikTok, as they know their audience's likes and dislikes. Knowing this gave the influencers the creative freedom to coordinate their videos with their own personal brands, as well as the audience to essentially make it their own. The final results from their campaign were tremendous, as they were able to drive awareness to their brand by surpassing their guaranteed views by over 700%, which totaled an impressive 14 million views across the entire campaign using TikTok. Overall, a lot of trends throughout the years are still applicable, such as TikTok, Zoom and remote working. However, looking on to 2022, we reckon things are going to change slightly as some countries reopen to the world, allowing people to get back to some form of normality. However, since we've spent years adjusting our lives because of the pandemic, people have been accustomed to the online world, and therefore online usage isn't going to fizzle out anytime soon. With more and more content being made by the public, businesses need to step up their online game and create engaging content related to their industry to drive more potential customers their way. And lastly, we believe that the impact of short content in the form of YouTube and TikTok will only increase over the years as we get accustomed to quick and easy content. Have a question? Enter it in the comments below, or feel free to visit our website.